Peace. Welcome to Pod and Play the Virtuous Way. I am your host, Sharar Anochi Toon. Not only am I the host, I am also the creator of Pod and Play the Virtuous Way. Before we get into the game, I want to get more into the why and how this game came to be. This game came from me organizing my life and trying to get myself out of a dark place and trying to get myself to purpose. And when I did that, I looked at myself and I said, who am I? Where do I want to go in life? Who do I want to become? And the last question I always had is, what is my purpose? And I started breaking down myself. And I looked at myself in different ways. Places that I existed in. People that I hung around. My environment. My mindset. And I started looking at ways in which I can improve each thing. So when you look at the virtuous way, this board that's in front of us, I broke my life down into 8 sections. These 8 sections are on this board. We will start with the spiritual, occupational, intellectual, physical, emotional, environmental, financial, and social. These are all aspects of myself, and I'm pretty sure these 8 dimensions are aspects of you as well. So these are the 8 dimensions in which we start off with in the virtuous way. And within these dimensions, there's virtues, hence the virtuous way. The virtues are self-governing. So it's the virtue of self-love, which is the color red. You have the virtue of self-respect, which is orange. Self-acceptance is yellow. Self-accountability is green. Self-truth is blue. And self-gratitude is purple. And in the center, which is the most important part of life, and also the virtuous way, of course, the most important part in the center is your purpose. And it's in the center because your purpose, a lot of it gets lost. It gets lost when we're working. It gets lost when we're interacting with our friend groups. It gets lost when we're home. It gets lost through our different emotional states. It gets lost in our physical well-being. And you have to ask yourself, do you love your environment that you're in? Because if you don't, then if you're not in self-love, then you're operating in self-hate. And if you don't love your environment, I'm pretty sure your emotional state is in distress, so there's no self-love there. So you have no love in your emotional or your environment. Do you love your occupation? If the answer is no, why don't you love your occupation? Is it because the financial aspect of that is not beneficial? So now you don't love your occupation, you don't love your financial status, which, another thing, your emotional state, it probably affects your physical well-being. It could also affect your intellect, your mental state, and I'm pretty sure it affects your environment. So these are the ways we can look at life and how we can improve and overcome these obstacles to see what is affecting us. How can we progress and love ourselves in every way possible regardless of the challenges and the hurdles. So, yes, we have the 8 dimensions. We have the 6 virtues within each dimension. There's a total of 96 spaces on this board for us to have a chance to become virtuous every day. This is an everyday process. It's not just a game, it's an experience. It's an experience to make you the 1% better that you need every day. On this board, there's spaces. You could draw a card. You could opt to move forward 2 spaces, but in order to do so, you have to set another player back. That's a real life consequence. When you're looking to get forward in life in a certain area, you're setting yourself backwards in another one because you have to put more energy there. And this energy, it should be going towards your purpose. That's the point of the virtuous way. So, how do we play the virtuous way? You can start with 2 dice, or you could do a spinner. Or you could do 1 dice. It depends on how you want to play the game. How do you want to travel on your journey towards your purpose? This is a game of strategy. Of course, it's fun. But I want you to think when you play this. I want you to think. Be open. Be mindful. Be conscious of every move you make on this board. Be conscious of every move that is made. Because every move you make will affect another player. Any move you don't make, it may affect you and another player. Even being still in this game comes with a cost. Moving ahead comes with a cost. Setting yourself back comes with a cost. So now we have what we call the source, which is your deck of cards. There's 72 cards. There's 24 cards for power cards. There's 24 challenge cards. Challenge cards could be played player versus player, or you could do an open challenge to the board. But being as though this is just a virtuous way, one-on-one, for the time being, all of the challenges will be directly player versus player. And then the last card group, which is my favorite, are the reflection virtue cards. So your power cards allow you to either become an offensive or defensive player based on your strategy. Your challenge cards could give you awards if played right. And then you have your virtue reflection cards, which are meant to be introspective, are meant to bring yourself and the player to a state of openness, a state of reflection, a state of tranquility, to really think about the question itself, where they're at in this journey in the game, but most importantly, where they're at in the journey of life. Because that's what this is all about, the virtuous way. We're all striving to be something. We're all striving to get somewhere. But when you get there, will you be able to look at yourself and say, you did it honorably? You did it virtuously. You loved yourself along the way. You respected yourself along the way. You accepted who you were along the way, and so forth and so on. And that's part of the virtuous way, which brings me to, how do you win? Of course, you could win by getting to your purpose and having the highest tally of points based on how many cards you have. Your power cards are worth 2 points each. Your challenge cards are worth 2 points each. But the reflection and virtue cards are worth 3 points each. Keep that in mind. Your reflection virtue cards are worth 3 points each. So that's how you win. You get to your purpose and you have the highest tally of points. But to become the virtuous one, that's where it's tricky. To become the virtuous one, you must have one of each of the virtue cards. So you must have 6 in total. And in addition to having the 6, you must also have the highest tally of points. And if you do have 6 of the virtue cards, one of each virtue, that 3-point worth will go to 4 points. So you'll automatically have a total of 24 points because you made it to your purpose, being virtuous. You maintained your virtues. And it's 24, there's 24 hours in a day. You ended your day virtuous. And that's the virtuous way. So now this is an open invite to any and all people that are not only willing to play, but they're willing to become the virtuous one.